2018, the town of Paradise started on a similar journey. Paradise was nearly wiped off the map by the devastating Camp Fire. In this 7 on Your Side Solutions report, our Philip Palmer traveled to Paradise, now in year 6 of their rebuilding effort. Philip shows us how far along they are and the lessons they've learned along the way.
In November of 2018, the Camp Fire killed 85 people and destroyed 90% of the homes in Paradise, California. Gary Ledbetter lost everything he owned in that fire, and 6 years later still remembers his state of mind.
There's a flood of emotions when you get burned out. One of them is, I want what I lost, and you want to build back right away.
Gary had moved into his home 10 days before the Camp Fire destroyed it. It was a year before he was able to begin rebuilding, in part because he wanted to wait for new building codes now required in Paradise. But it took much longer for many to come to grips with the reality of what they faced on their road to recovery.
You lose everything, now you're a victim. But my recommendation is don't stay there. Climb out of that hole and become a survivor. Then once you have a survivor mindset, you can gain some clarity instead of vision for yourself.
In terms now easy to understand for fire victims in Southern California, Phase 1 and Phase 2 of debris cleanup took 9 months here in Paradise. 1,000 trucks every day hauled away 3.7 million tons of debris. That's the equivalent of 4 Golden Gate bridges.
By comparison, the combined fire zones in LA County will need to remove an estimated 4.5 million tons of debris, making it all the more important for everyone to opt in to the right of entry program for the Army Corps of Engineers debris removal.
Seeing, hundreds of trucks drive the same routes every day, all I, taught myself to think of was progress. Each truck was progress. But what I can say in my experience, having kind of overseen all of it, is that the more people that sign up for this program, the more efficient they can be, and the faster the overall cleanup is done.
Paradise is a remote community just east of Chico, so the timeline for recovery was affected by its location, but also by the decision to rebuild in a manner that would reduce the chances of this kind of devastation ever happening again. It was 2 years before the first homes were completed. For Jen Goodland, it took 2.5 years before her family moved into their new home.
It was extremely hard at times. We had some, during storms or other threats of fire, feeling like maybe we couldn't rebuild. There were some really defeating days, but you just have to do one thing at a time, and if you get through that, then you do the next hurdle.
Paradise had a population of 26,000 people before the fire. In 2020, only 5,000 people lived here. But by last year, that number had more than doubled to 11,000. And for 3 straight years, Paradise has been the fastest growing city in California.
You see trucks everywhere. You see red cones everywhere. We're work in progress, and people get frustrated about it. We call it construction fatigue here. The folks down in your area are going to experience that same thing because construction is going to take a long time, and it's going to interfere with day-to-day life. That's just normal for the first 3 to 5 years after the disaster.
People from the outside always say, why aren't you rebuilt? And our perspective is we've done an incredible job from what we had.
Paradise realized over the years how important it is to celebrate small achievements every day. This wall is a celebration of the smallest. Each individual tile is the actual handprint of a child living in Paradise 5 years after the fire. Over 2,500 small achievements all in one place. In Paradise, Philip Palmer, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Still rebuilding after 7 years. Now, to prevent a future catastrophe, Paradise is rebuilding the town to be fire resistant. That includes removing trees, reconfiguring roads to create more escape routes, and putting power lines underground.
Coming up tomorrow on Eyewitness News at 5, Philip Palmer continues his 7 on Your Side reports with a look at what they're doing and how much it's costing the town and its residents.